Are you tasked with purchasing a sound system for your church or school? Maybe you already have the equipment, but can't get the most out of it, or you simply want to upgrade. Before we begin this episode, I have a question to which I would appreciate some feedback. This goes out to schools and churches, obviously. If you ever felt that you were overcharged for a service, audio equipment, or a PA system that you or a school purchased, I ask this question because some churches, especially schools, rely on external service providers for their sound and lighting or audiovisual technical assistance. If your answer is a yes, then you were probably overcharged. I've discovered that this is an area that is very chaotic in price structures. You can get a price for a sound mixer from one supplier, and if you inquire the same mixer from another supplier, you'll be surprised by the price difference. Sometimes the difference can amount to 20k. Do you want to know why? They know that you have got no clue. That's the reason why. Lucky for you now, because I'm now going to dismantle that. Look, this is what they do. They maximize profits because their products do not have price regulations, and most of the equipment is imported from outside Africa. Price vary depending on demand, foreign currency exchange rate. I told you earlier that they know that you have no clue. And let me tell you a short story. Once I visited a venue, and the person who was responsible for managing the venue AV system was a guy I knew. He had just installed a PA system into this venue, and the system had costed R500,000. I did my maths and found out that the new sound system actually costed, at that time, around about 170k. Prices for accessories such as cables, brackets, labor could have costed around 30k. So this guy I knew bought this equipment, installed it, and to do that, he charged 500k. The guy made a profit of nearly 300,000. For the next few weeks, I'm going to unpack a lot of things that will help you understand your equipment. But first thing first, let's look at microphones, including everything that is to know before you go ahead and purchase one. What is a microphone? A microphone is a device that translates sound vibrations into electrical energy variations, which may then be amplified, transmitted, or recorded. I just thought we needed to get that out of the way so that we are on the same page. So before you purchase a microphone, you need to ask yourself this question. What do I want this microphone to capture? Is it a vocal? Is it an instrument? What type of instrument? This question will help you to choose the right mic with the right frequency response. So, the human ear is able to hear frequency ranges of 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz, which is defined as the frequency spectrum. So each instrument or vocal dominates different areas on the spectrum. Stay with me here. We say the human ear is able to hear frequency ranges from 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz. For example, instruments like the bass drum, toms, bass, guitar, and many more will dominate the lower frequencies, while instruments like the acoustic guitar, flute, hi-hats, and many more will dominate the mid-range up to the high frequencies. What this means is that there is no one-size-fits-all when it comes to choosing microphones. A microphone with a frequency response range of around 80 Hz to 15 kHz would make a good choice for a vocal mic. However, for miking snares and toms, you would look for a range that starts lower at around 50 Hz, and for bass drum mic, you want a low end of 40 Hz or even lower, down to 30 Hz. I'm not trying to complicate this for you, but it is important that you understand a little bit about this because it also applies to choosing the right PA system for your specific applications, as you will learn on my next episodes. Back to microphones. It's important to note that mics have what we call pickup patterns, which is the direction from which it accepts incoming sound. In other words, a microphone that I'm using right now might not be ideal for a live stage performance due to its polar pattern. Do your own research before you go ahead and purchase your mic. You would definitely come across terms such as bidirectional, unidirectional, omnidirectional, etc. The most commonly used being the unidirectional mics, which come in 3 polar patterns, namely cardioid, hypercardioid, and supercardioid. There are 4 major types of microphones, which are named according to the method that they use to convert sound waves to electrical energy. We have dynamic microphones, condenser microphones, ribbon microphones, and crystal microphones. But for now, let's look at 2 types of microphones, which are dynamic and condenser mics. Dynamic microphones are versatile, general purpose microphones, and are very affordable. They do not need external phantom power like condenser microphones. Generally, they are strong, resilient to rough handling, even dropping. And then we have got condenser microphones, which are professional mics mainly for studio use. They use capacitors to convert acoustical energy to electrical energy. They also use an external power supply, internal batteries, or phantom power supplied by the mixer input. These mics can also be used on stage. Condensers are also good for choirs. I think this is enough for today. We'll dive deeper on the next video next week. I also want to talk about PA systems, how to choose the right system, and which brands to look out for. So, see you next week, and thank you for subscribing to Eventward TV.